This video is about what I consider very strongly to be the #1 cure for musicians' pandemic fatigue. It's a really hard time right now for musicians. And if you're watching this, I am sure that you know what I'm talking about. So in this video, we're going to touch briefly on the difficulties. I'm not going to stir that up much because you don't want to feel worse. This video is to help you feel better. And then I am going to share specific things that I don't think people are really talking about much. What's underneath, what's at the root of the experience that we're having, many of us are having, of pandemic fatigue, and what can we do to overcome this really uncomfortable feeling that's going on and on and on, and hopefully not forever. I mean, there is good news these days. The numbers of deaths are going down, thankfully, worldwide. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still going to be many more months before things get back to normal for musicians. So I want this video to be super inspiring for everybody here watching, and I would be so grateful if you would give me your feedback and just comment away. Share whatever you've got to say, and then I will also feel more connected to you if I know that you're coming back and you're with me. So hello, Bill. Thank you for telling me that my audio is working. I'm so grateful. This is like the third or fourth try today, so I really appreciate the feedback, and I'm glad that I can now get on with the topic. So wonderful. If everybody could just say hello, tell me if you're on Facebook or YouTube. I would really appreciate knowing where you're from. It's always fun to see musicians from around the world showing up. Okay, and just very briefly, if you don't have any idea who I am, my name's Jennifer Roig-Francolí. I'm a professional violinist and a coach for musicians. I specialize in helping musicians enjoy a healthy and balanced life and abundantly successful career, even during the worst time in history for musicians. And I am pretty certain this is the worst time in history for musicians. So that's a little bit about me. I'm also the creator of the Art of Freedom method for conscious living and masterful artistry. You can join my Facebook group. My free Facebook group is called The Musician's Advantage, and I'd love to have you over there. We have fun conversations and talk about all kinds of mind, body, spirit issues related to music making to make your life more fun and enjoyable and make better music. So let's dive into the topic. And hello, I'm seeing some names popping up, but I'm not able to see everybody's name since I'm using a different system, and I'm also on YouTube. So I am delighted to see that there is a viewer on YouTube right now. That means it's working. So thanks for that feedback. Give me a yes if you're experiencing some degree of pandemic fatigue. Are you experiencing that, and what is it like? I know firsthand as a musician how hard it is to not have live performances going on. Personally, I won an international competition last year, and the prize was to perform at Carnegie Hall, which was very exciting. But that performance, it was supposed to be last December, and it got postponed to this July 2021. And I just found out that's been canceled as well. So that's disappointing, of course. And I had a tour scheduled with Apollo's Fire at the beginning of the pandemic, and that was all canceled. So I understand what it's like from a personal perspective of what it's like to have performances canceled. It's hard to not be making music with your colleagues, and many professional musicians like myself, we teach, and it's hard to not be able to meet with your students in person. Now, I don't teach children at this point anymore by choice. I teach mostly adults, college age and all other ages. And I teach exclusively online anyway. I have been for the last 3 years. It's my preferred medium, actually. But I have taught a lot in person. And as an Alexander Technique teacher, I even used to use touch. So I know how hard it is to not be able to be in the same room with your music students and your colleagues and just have that physical contact, that energy that's in the room, that's in the concert hall, and just getting together with friends, having people over for dinner. It is hard. And yes, there is a commenter on YouTube, and I'm so sorry I can't see your name, but feeling sluggish. Yes. So what happens? You wake up in the morning and you try to get yourself going, but it can be kind of hard. You can feel sluggish, you can feel tired. And basically, this term pandemic fatigue is about a loss of energy. We're not feeling as energized towards our music making and, frankly, towards just about everything else when we are under that pressure of thinking about the pandemic and its ramifications in our personal and professional lives. Basically, it feels yucky and we need a solution because it's not helpful, it's not healthy mentally. There are a lot of people having difficulty with their mental state right now. There are a lot of people, musicians honestly have a difficult time anyway as artists because we are very sensitive. We're really sensitive to the energy in the world, in the room, and around us, the people around us. We pick things up. That's what makes us great artists. We're able to feel deeply and transmit those feelings through our music to share real life with the world and, ideally for the betterment of humanity and, healing of ourselves and the world. For me, that's one of the biggest reasons to be a musician. So when you're not feeling well and you're not feeling energized, it's really hard to get into that state of creative inspiration, and it's hard to get yourself moving during the day. A lot of musicians are not feeling motivated to practice, right? Is anybody out there having a challenging time practicing? Maybe you make yourself do it anyway, and then it's just, not as fun as it could be. Here are some of the things I know that people are doing plenty of things to try to get over this pandemic fatigue. Like, you're having difficulty because you're not connecting with people. So you come on to Zoom meetings with your friends and family, and you do what you can to build up your studio and connect with your students the best you can. But frankly, it's kind of hard. And a lot of the time, you're just going to try to lift up your mood by distracting yourself. Like get on the phone, call friends and family, take up a new hobby, which can be fun. Yeah. In fact, I just decided I was going to start painting again yesterday. So I'm excited about that. Or you might just be doing a lot of Netflix watching. I'm also doing. So, there are things to help you mitigate the emotional negativity. But the truth is that even after doing those things, you can still feel dull and unmotivated to get out your instrument. And you might still not be feeling connected to your love of music because you don't have as many goals or events to look forward to. Does this sound familiar? Yeah. Okay. So other things that you can do, and I'm sure you're already doing these, are practicing better self-care. You know that you need to eat well when you're under this kind of stress. This is a very stressful time for everybody. You need to exercise. Maybe you need to just relax more, take a bath, do aromatherapy or light box therapy. I do that when it's gloomy in the winter for long periods of time. I use a light box and it really, really helps. Maybe you do yoga or you dance, and all of those things are really helpful. But none of them is really deeply connected to how you practice, and it may not be enough to really lift you up out of this pandemic fatigue. So what do? You force yourself to practice anyway, but that's not really that much fun. Or maybe just don't practice and you figure, well, I don't have any concerts to practice for, so what's the point, right? If you can relate to this and you're, experiencing any of the things that I've just talked about, or you have other suggestions for some things that are helping to lift your spirits, please put them in the comments because you may have a really good idea for somebody else. Thanks for that. But here's the thing. From my perspective, I call it the Art of Freedom Method for Conscious Living and Masterful Artistry. From my perspective, it's really, really important to connect the 5 life pillars. I call these life pillars: purpose, mind, body, spirit. And spirit is whatever you want that to mean. Anything from creative spirit, your creative, passionate love in your heart. It can be that. Could be God, could be the great mystery, or nature with a capital N. Whatever you want to use for the word spirit. We all know that the best music is played with spirit, con spirito, right? So we have purpose, mind, body, spirit, and then your artistry, how you actually make music, right? So all of these things need to be addressed, and they're all connected. They're like fingers on a hand, and it's one hand. You can't separate any of those out if you want to make really, really great music. So what I see as the real problem is a combination of 3 things. First, lack of connection. By the way, all of these things have to do with connection. It's a lack of energy. Pandemic fatigue is about a lack of energy, and energy is always present, but we're not connected to it. So it's a combination of 3 different aspects. One is the lack of connection to life's meaning and your personal life purpose. Now, this is something, all of these things are things that are important for life all the time, not just during a pandemic, but they're incredibly important to be connecting to during a pandemic when you're under extended, long period of extended stress and more pressure for really good reasons. This is hard for really good reasons. This is not a normal way to live for anybody. So if you're feeling bad, it's normal. Okay, you're not in a normal situation. So first of all, take the pressure off yourself if you feel like you should be feeling better. No, you feel the way you feel, but once you acknowledge how you feel, there are things you can do about it, and that's why I'm here talking to you today. So those 3 things. The first one, lack of connection to life's meaning, however you give meaning to your life. And for me, that has everything to do with my personal life purpose. And if you've never thought this way before, then I would love for your curiosity to get piqued. And if you can just take 5 minutes today to sit down by yourself quietly with a piece of paper and just do stream of consciousness writing, what on earth could be my life purpose? I don't know. That's okay. You don't need to be able to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out today, but getting curious about it and getting interested, that in itself is a first step out of your pandemic fatigue. Curiosity is the key. It's the key. It's the key to everything. It's the beginning key. It's like the key that opens up the door to everything. Curiosity. You have to be curious about where's the key, where's the door, how do I put the key in the door, how do I open the door, right? Okay, so the second thing, I'm talking about the 3 real problems, the real problem and 3 aspects to it. The real problem, I believe, is a lack of energy, and that comes from a lack of connection to universal energy. And there are 3 aspects to it. The first one is what I just talked about, lack of connection to life's meaning and your personal life purpose. The second aspect is a lack of integration within yourself. Not being aware and connected to your mind, not being aware of your thoughts and just thinking constantly, having a cluttered mind that is disorganized and a big fat mess that includes a ton of negativity and self-criticism and judgment and worry, and fear and anxiety. All those things are just, they throw you off balance, right? So if you have your mind out of balance, your body will follow and reflect what's going on in your mind. If you're not paying attention to your body, things are going to be out of whack. And if you're accusing your body for feeling bad, or if you're in pain, or you have a lot of tension and you're blaming your body, that is misplaced blame. Your body is innocent. It just reflects what's going on in your mind. Yes, even if you have an injury, it's your experience of the injury and your experience of the pain and how you choose to respond and react to the pain that either helps the pain heal and improve and go away over time on its own timeline, really. But you're either going in the direction of healing, or you're going in the direction of more constriction, more difficulty, more pain, more tension, less life, shorter life. Yeah, not good. Then the other aspect that you need to be, so we're still talking about the second aspect of lack of connection and energy. This is lack of integration with yourself, lack of integration with your mind, your body, your emotions. If you're blocking your emotions or you're judging how you're feeling, forget it. That's going to throw you off. If you feel bad and you're bashing yourself for feeling bad and trying to force yourself to be happy, that's not going to work. That's like putting a Band-Aid on a wound without actually treating the wound. I mean, actually, it's not even like that, because no, it's not like a Band-Aid, because a Band-Aid actually protects it and then the wound heals by itself. This is more like you have a wound, you don't put a Band-Aid on it, you don't put anything on it, and you just keep poking at it with your negative thoughts and not letting yourself, not letting the wound breathe and just leaving it alone. Okay. And also, you're not connecting to your creative spirit when your self is not integrated. So when you're not integrated, you're not really allowing your internal energy to flow. You're not connected with your life source, your everything that keeps you alive and energized and enthusiastic. The third aspect of lack of energy and what leads to this pandemic fatigue is really a lack of awareness and a lack of heartfelt connection to your external world, your external environment, whether that is a pen on your desk or your violin, piano, clarinet, oboe, voice, the people around you, the people you are living with. A lot of people are having a very hard time because they are stuck at home 24/7 with people that are challenging and relationships that are challenging. There's nothing harder than relationships. So if you're having difficulty, that's normal, but it's what you choose to do in response to the difficulty that is either going to make you blossom and grow through the pandemic and actually even enjoy yourself. It's going to make the difference between that or just feeling worse and worse and having a harder and harder time. The problem with the pandemic is that it's real, and it's requiring each of us to really step up and be super honest. And we're always required to choose, but usually the stakes don't seem as high. But this is a really serious life or death situation. I mean, if you don't put on a mask and stay away from people with COVID, then you could die, right? And if you don't take care of your well-being to stay mentally and emotionally and spiritually healthy, that's not good, and it's not going to make for great music making. I hope this is abundantly clear at this point. So I'm going to talk in a moment about what you can do about it. And before I do that, I'm going to pop over and see if there are comments coming up. Hello, people coming here. Somebody's taking notes. I love that. That makes me feel good because apparently I'm saying something that's worthwhile. So thank you. Thank you for saying that. And hello, Nirmal. I can see you on YouTube over there. Thank you so much for being here today. And Marie Kaur says here, there's no outlets here in the UK for playing unless you're a professional. That's really hard. So I suspect there's many out there who simply practice and play for their own satisfaction. Yes, for sure. So I'm used to having no get-togethers with other musicians. Online groups are my only outlet. Thank God for the internet. really, truly, we are, and we need to be grateful and recognize that we're so lucky that we are going through a pandemic during the age of the internet, because it's so good to be able to meet like this and share ideas and feel connected to people, even from the isolation of our homes, right? I'm very happy because I have a nice quiet home here and it's a very peaceful place. I love my company. My boyfriend is here with me. We're very happy. I feel very, very lucky. But it would be still really lonely without the internet. So thank goodness for the internet. And musicians, we have to think outside of the box. And the longer this goes on, the more you may come to realize that, I hate to say it, but there could always be another pandemic. So you've got to think about pandemic proofing your artistic way of expressing yourself in the world. You're probably already doing some of this, but there are so many ways to connect with other musicians, your students, and audiences as a performer through the internet. But it just takes curiosity and a will to learn. Okay, so on that note, I want to talk about what you could be learning. And this really, the number one cure, of course, so many different ways to put it, but I've already talked about how the problem I see is that there's a lack of energy having to do with a lack of connection with your purpose, with your internal world, and with your external world. There's a lack of integration. And that's a problem whether there's a pandemic or not. So what can you do about this now, like today? So I feel like we all need a system. You need a system that's going to teach you how to bring it all together and how to apply your more integrated self specifically to your music making. You need a system that's going to encourage you to explore a whole new way of thinking and responding to your present circumstances, and a way which is going to give you precise tools for how to apply your new perspective and how to apply it to how you practice on an everyday basis, just for yourself, by yourself. How are you going to do this? How can you practice in a new way that energizes you in all the ways that, and connects you in all the ways that I've just described? And you need a new way with precise tools to help you share your music with others through your teaching and performance in a healthy, integrated way that's also fun and exciting. So I mentioned the Art of Freedom method for conscious living and masterful artistry. This is my comprehensive system that I've created over the years to help musicians bring their whole selves to their music making. I want you to really enjoy passionate enthusiasm and full-blooded confidence in yourself, whether you're alone at home or whether you're on stage in front of 1,000 people, or whether you're in a virtual studio with your student. I want you to really fully enjoy that and bring that excitement to the people that you're communicating with, because that exchange of energy is so life-enhancing for everybody involved. So now I want to tell you about the Musician's Advantage Jumpstart. This is a program that I have just revamped. It's been going on for a while and it's super successful. We have an incredible group of musicians from around the world who are all interested in this mind-body connection and improving skills and getting out of pain, releasing tension and stress, basically being able to enjoy making music free of pain, free of stress, and from your heart. So we're also working on drastically improving your technical skills. Your technique, no matter what your instrument is going to skyrocket when you understand how to integrate yourself and let go of excess tension even while you're playing your instrument. So the Musician's Advantage Jumpstart program is here to help you start letting go of all the things that are pulling you down and putting you in pain, discomfort, depression, anxiety, and blocking your success and your enjoyment, basically. And you're going to learn how to free your mind, body, and creative spirit with this powerful three-pronged approach. The way I teach and run the Jumpstart program includes 3 ways of learning. Remember I talked about curiosity being the key? This is going to wake up your curiosity and satisfy it as well really quickly. You're going to feel better from day 1 and start understanding how to play better in a much deeper and bigger way with 3 things. Where you're going to have a private coaching session with me and lots of individual attention. It's a 30-day program, but right now in February, I'm offering a bonus of an extra 2 weeks. So it's actually a 6-week program. So we'll meet together personally so I can guide you individually and make sure you're getting exactly what you need, and obviously with the utmost consideration for your unique situation and adaptations to whatever is going on with you, whether it's a physical limitation or a career issue that's going on. I'll help you adapt what you're learning to your current situation. And by the way, what I teach, the Art of Freedom method, is based on the principles of the Alexander technique, but it's taught in a really pure way that goes back to the origins of the technique. I do not use my hands. I use a process called Primal Alexander, which I've been training in on top of my 2 certifications in traditional Alexander technique with touch. I have more than 5 years now of additional training in hands-free Alexander technique teaching, and I love it and do it because I feel like it works best for me and my students. And it's really it's fun and it works over the internet. So you're going to learn how to use the basic Primal Alexander awareness etudes for yourself. You'll have a very simple, quick daily practice of awareness etudes. You'll do just a couple minutes twice a day whenever it makes sense to you. And your progress is guaranteed. Absolutely. In fact, 100% money back guaranteed if you do the work, and it's like you will progress. You will feel better. Your pain will reduce. Your tension you'll know how to reduce your pain and your tension, and you'll know how to improve your technique and musicality with these skills of integration. Guaranteed, or your money back. You also get my 3-week self-study course, which is the Jumpstart Foundations course, where you learn all the basic skills you need with videos and a home action plan designed to be highly effective, quick, simple, and easy to implement. This whole Jumpstart program is designed to really show you that less is more. It's meant to save you time, save you energy. It's not a lot of work. It's just a very powerful, simple process that works. And one of the most important aspects, this is the 3rd part, the 3rd way that you're going to be learning in the Jumpstart program is, well, they're all the most important part, but it's really important during the pandemic to have a powerful sense of community and belonging with other people like you, going through the same kinds of issues that you're going through. So I have a private Facebook group, and we have live group classes that meet every week that you'll be a part of if you join the Musician's Advantage Jumpstart program. And this week I'm offering some special bonuses. As I mentioned before, you'll actually get an additional 2 weeks. This is normally a 30-day program. It's kind of a deep dive intensive, which is, I don't like to use the word intensive because it's actually, it helps make everything easier. So it teaches you how to do things in an effortless, light way that lifts your spirits with less work than usual. So it's usually a 30-day program, but I'm giving anybody who signs up by March 1st an extra 2 weeks. And you also get a couple of other really great bonuses. If you are a music educator, you get a free course that teaches you how to teach online using some of the principles that I teach to make it fun and easy, and so that you can really develop a great communication with your students, even through Zoom or whatever system you want to use. I talk about Zoom in this course. So you get that course for free. That's a $200 value. And then the other thing that I'm offering this month, there are 3 bonuses. Like I said, the extra 2 weeks. There is this course that is for music educators. And by the way, if you're not a music educator, there's another course that I'm going to give you. In fact, I'm just pulling something up here to make sure I'm not telling you the wrong bonuses. If you want to know more about the details, please just message me. You can send me an email at jennifer@artoffreedom.me. Oh yes, the other thing that I'm going to give you if you sign up by March 1st is actually very valuable. It's a personal video review with detailed feedback on your posture, poise, and the movement that you use while you play your instrument. So I'll be able to tell you very, very precisely some of the things that you're thinking and doing to get in your own way, and how you can think and move differently so that you can play with more ease and less tension. That's also a $200 value. So actually, those 3 bonuses themselves are like this huge $600 value package. So you want to grab these during February. They're going to go away or be different somehow after March 1st. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and message me if you're interested to know the precise details. So just to recap, what I wanted to convey today is that I believe that the biggest problem for musicians these days during the pandemic, this pandemic fatigue, is a lack of connection to the source of energy within and without. And that means learning. We need to learn how to stop blocking that flow of energy and enthusiasm by connecting to life's meaning and deepest personal life purpose. And we need to be able to let there be a free flow of energy with our external environment, with the people around us, with the objects around us, with the air around us, with nature. Having that external connection is very, very energizing. And then maybe above all is to learn how to integrate ourselves and energize ourselves with an excellent mind, body, spirit connection, and bring that specifically to our music making, our performing, and our teaching. If we have all these things together, it's guaranteed that we're going to actually enjoy this time and make the most of this time during the pandemic. And it's very strange to say, but it's really been one of the most interesting and best years of my life to go through this pandemic, as awful and weird as it has been as well, with canceled performances and not being able to see friends and family, which is really, really hard. But being able to use these tools and share them with other musicians and seeing them thriving at this time, there's nothing more gratifying. And I would love for everybody watching this to also have the opportunity to learn the Art of Freedom method for conscious living and masterful artistry, and gain the specific, simple tools that I can give you to apply to your daily musical practice and performance. Whether you're performing these days or not, you'll have these tools for your whole entire life, and you are going to love it. And remember what I said, it's a 100% money back guarantee. I know this works, so you have absolutely nothing to lose. I hope you'll contact me for all the details, and we can chat about options. And I'd love to give you all those bonuses before March 1st. So message me. Send me an email or a message through Facebook Messenger, or here on YouTube. Just put a comment below. And I would love to get your feedback on today's video. I hope this was inspiring and helpful, and I hope that you have a more energized, happy, beautiful, artistic, wonderful day. So lots of love. Thank you so much for being here, and share this video with anybody else that you think could benefit. Take care.